I don't see any of it. It's gone forever. Oh no. I'm playing Dear Esther right now. And okay, let's see if it's gonna be an ultra wide. Oh no. It's only in just barely HD. Oh wait. Here we go. Here we go. Nope. I go 1610, that's it. And the highest is 1600. So I guess I'll do that. Crosshairs, advanced, apply. Yeah, done. Is there really nothing? 4x3, 5x4. Yeah, that's that. Okay, done.
Done with the game already?
Well, done with like setting up the video because there is no closed captions. Yeah, it's enabled. I don't remember anything about this game, so we're gonna just go straight. Oh, there's directors. Oh, okay, we're gonna do Lighthouse. We're gonna find out if I actually did beat this game or not.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Oh, that's cool. Wish I could go up there. That's so weird when you zoom in. One moment. And we do this. There's not much of a running speed. It is as it is there, but yeah, okay, cool. I don't know if you can die at all either.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Guess I'm gonna go down here. Oh, what? kind of wish you could run in this game. It is kind of slow. But I can see why you don't want to run.
That game are slow.
I mean, I think the lack of running is so the game, like if you had a dialogue like this.
Distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another
No,
time.
fuck you. What if I want to
Sleeping
speedrun this
giants,
shitty game?
somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
God, I opened your YouTube for half a second and I already hate this game.
It's a good game. Look at this. You got like things. You got like tail things.
Why does it look so fucking like jittery?
Shit.
I thought this was like a remaster remake of a game and everything looks like it's just fucking jumping all over the place.
Maybe it's lagging.
I have found the ship's manifest.
It looks like you're looking around. It looks like you're like playing with a controller and you're just like every time you're looking at something, you're just like moving it. You're like fucking look around joystick slightly at a time and just jumping all over the same place. It doesn't look natural mouse movement or anything. I don't know what's going on, but I hate it.
Alright,
like
cool.
you go to look at something, you just stop in the middle of your movement for like a third of a second, and then you keep going, and it just keeps jumping around.
Like that?
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm looking. Like I'm looking there, then I move around.
Are you playing in VR or something? You're like,
yeah,
ooh.
yeah, I am. Can't you tell by my VR motions?
No, I can't because I don't know what that means.
That is kind of sad that the I kind of don't want to go the right way the first time, but also not going the right way means I'm just gonna take even longer to get back to going the right way. Either way, it is very atmospheric, I should say, and I will beat it this time if I didn't beat it last time. Unless it's like an 8-hour game, then I probably won't beat it this time.
This definitely isn't the natural movement of anyone playing a game.
And there's not much to do. It's just you just move to the right, left, look around.
Yeah, but you're like looking at things that are already in your field of view by moving like your thing to it. And I'm like, you can look at that without moving an inch down.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, maybe what I'm looking at is actually like, you know, where that black spot is. Like, I want to get that rock that's just in the way now, or that post. I like having things.
There's still a delay, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You'll see.
Until it.
Yep.
Followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount.
And then we're talking over everything it's saying in the video,
no.
so I miss it anyway.
No, stop.
His
Shush.
understanding of the island was flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, I've gotten to the black spot in rock, and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't see a black spot, and there's like 50 rocks, and you didn't point at any of them.
Well, when I say
kind of stared.
When I said the black spot, I really mean the black bar that's on my screen, which is actually on your screen as well.
What, the like full screen YouTube video of the resolution just not being there?
Yeah.
So ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice.
Even in fucking default view, it's just nothing but blank borders.
You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection. And wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff path died along with its hosts.
Can I stop listening to my own conversation like a minute after?
The infection is not simply of the flesh. I quote directly, a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst
God
them.
damn it! I made the mistake
Despite
of
their
checking
tedious
my
inclination to quote
like.
scripture,
I
they
saw
seem
that
to
it
be
was
most
like the quality
godforsaken of all
option
the
said
inhabitants of
HD.
the
I made the
Outer
mistake of
Islands.
clicking
Indeed,
on
in
that,
this case, the very
and
gravity
it being
of that term,
a
as forsaken by God, seems to
140,
find very
60,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
It appears to me that
this is a
Domrey, too,
fucking
found
YouTube
those who
video
wander this
from
shoreline to be
like the
adrift from
birth
any
of
chance of
YouTube.
redemption. Did he include himself
It looks like it's been recorded by a toaster.
I'm not sure the toaster quality
Potato.
recording these days, but this looks like before they added 720, definitely.
Oh no. I really hope it's not that bad. I haven't gone and checked the recordings. These I just kind of do for fun to see if they work. If not, then, well, obviously I gotta change it up.
The resolution doesn't look that awful. It's just, it's tiny, compressed, and most of the video is just black borders.
Yeah, that's sadly because of the resolution, actually.
Kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology.
I just hate that it says it's like 2K resolution, and it's just a tiny fucking square.
Yeah, that square is 2K.
Responsibility had made him old.
No, I think the 2K is including the
black.
Let me see, 25 to 30% black border.
My goodness, I'm gonna go in this cave. So this cave, when I was looking out, it had water coming. I mean, it had light coming through it. Maybe it was. This cave.
I see an entrance to a cave. I
Yeah,
assume that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm talking
You're
about.
just standing still, doing nothing at the moment.
It's because I was listening to you and listening to it to the best I possibly could while listening to you.
I think we both know which is saying better shit, and it's certainly not the game.
I was gonna say it's certainly not me. There it is, that cave.
I agree that it's not you.
I threw my arms wide, and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home. I transferred my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here.
God damn it, when we got caught up to the present of that conversation, you still weren't in the cave. You were still in the same place, a mile away from it.
Yep.
Where we had this conversation about me seeing a cave that you were supposedly in, and you still aren't.
I stand on the summit, and they flow into me, uncorrupted.
Alright, I'm in the cave now.
Are you though?
I'm looking at
Are
cave
you in the
designs.
goddamn cave?
Hey, you'll see me go in that cave. It's a good cave. There's a lot of
you just got to the entrance of the cave and you just stopped moving. You're just standing outside the cave.
That's a cool cave.
Is that a penis on the wall of the cave that you're flashing your fucking flashlight
Yeah,
at?
I'm flashing at the penis on the wall.
This is such a great game. You just walk into the cave, there's nothing in the cave, you don't do anything in the cave, there's literally no point. You come out the same way you went in.
Yeah, oh, I saw another path, and I'm taking that path. I mean, there's also that boat.
I'm pretty sure this is exactly where you came from.
Nah, I came from up there.
No, there's a tiny thing that you said was a cave when you were, fucking around and saying, yep, that's the cave.
That is the cave.
Basically, you had no reason to go in the cave whatsoever.
Well, there was light. There's like, I want to see what's inside the cave.
I hate this game so much.
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside.
How is anything about this worth a replay? How is it worth a first playthrough? What do people want to play this awful game for?
All I seem capable of is salt water. With the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge.
Look at the pretty bushes, the pretty flowers.
There's nothing pretty about it. It's like not even aesthetic. There's nothing about this game that even remotely looks interesting.
I don't know, that red light looks interesting.
Like, you can play any generic copy-paste open-world game from the past, like, 10 years, since they're all the same. Like, open-world games, when they first were concept, they were decent. Now they're all exactly the fucking same bullshit collectibles, nothing happening. That's what this game is without the collectibles.
Oh, but something's happening.
And it's not even open world. It's just one singular path where you just look
Oh,
around.
oh, actually, there's multiple paths. I'm going a special way at the moment.
Worst scenery ever.
Hey, there's that tire. That's the edge of that place that I couldn't get.
Victor?
What the hell?
This is a remaster. And it still looks like complete fucking shit.
I was like, did that come out of the game? What the heck? That was so, like, that was surreal. That scared me.
Moving closer
Yeah.
to my mic and
Yeah.
Could you hear the hand gestures going on?
I could hear something. It scared me. Alright. Up we go. Yeah, you got it right. I'm like, what's going on? Like at that moment, I was scared.
I
You're like,
paused it, but all I said was Victor, and you just jumped out of your fucking chair.
That's because I was looking down, like, oh my goodness, like yeah, that scared me. Scared me.
I find horror games boring, but I can't imagine you're playing them when you get jump scared by me saying your fucking name.
It was terrifying. I want to go down there, but I know if I go down there, I won't go back up. So let's try the other way.
And now I've got even more of a delay because I paused it.
Yeah. You're gonna hate what happens in the next 20 seconds. Well, 20 seconds after you unpaused it.
Well, I went back to live, so I'm sure I missed something. Oh, great. I'm gonna hate what happens in the next 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing's happening.
Uh-huh. Okay, now you're gonna really hate it.
Stonehenge is bad enough in real life that you don't need to fucking go to it. It was so bad, in fact, that you walked right past it without acknowledging its existence or looking at it.
Oh, I looked at it. Don't you worry.
Oh, wait, you did a 180 and glanced at it for half a second. And now you're walking to it. You were just fucking lost, I guess.
Yeah. I'd be lost. I just knew if I went down here, I wouldn't most likely be able to get back up. So, oh, okay, yeah. I beat the game.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks.
I was looking at my phone, I looked up, saw you, like, looking at Stonehenge while going, like, backwards.
Yeah, I told you I was looking at it.
And I'm like, are you going, like, back the way you fucking came? Everything in this game looks the fucking same. It's just so fucking boring and generic.
It's like life sometimes.
So goddamn bland. Then go take a walk outside.
It's too cold.
Literally, the street that I live on, like the random ass houses, are more fucking interesting than this.
I don't know, if I was here in real life, I'd probably like, yeah, I'll probably go there.
I wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. I'm disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him, they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean, into oblivion.
Now that it's repeated itself, saying if I was here in real life in the video, if I was there in real life, I'd fucking off myself. Why would I want to go to this island that clearly is just not... I mean, there's some blinking red thing, but I assume that's just for fucking airplanes. I doubt it gets any fucking cell service or fucking decent internet speed on this island.
I think we might find out. But it's 4. Look at this. Ooh. I can't really jump, so... Well, I'm gonna say I can't really jump. I can't jump. That's it. I just can't jump. But I think I found a way to on.
Why were you excited to play this game again, let alone the first time?
I don't know if I was excited to play the first time. I just like, it looked interesting. I also want to know if I beat it, so I'm playing it again to be like, yep, I think I did beat it. Plus, I like the story so far. What's up that way? I can go that way or that way. I guess I'll go this way.
All I've heard of the story is me complaining about the shit game.
Yeah, but you never played it, so I have to take that with a base of salt.
Kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital.
Oh yes, there's plenty of salt. This game is fucking awful.
Anesthetic. Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Good, fuck the protagonist. Good, I'm glad he has fucking kidney stones. Fuck that guy.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
What the fuck is this man on about?
I think it's going about his friend that died.
He passed enough kidney stones to make an island.
Yes. This is the island of his kidney stones.
What kind of fucking diet do you need to pass enough kidney stones to create an island?
A salty diet.
How many fucking lifetimes do you have to go through?
At least 1.
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders.
Jakobsen.
He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs, and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
I wonder if there's so many different ways you can go in here and have different dialogues. This game must be full of dialogue, since there's nothing else to do other than walk around. I'm gonna go up that way.
I closed the stream because I do not want to shoot myself today.
Nice.
But you have fun. This chat room is for Lotro, and whatever the fuck that is very much not Lotro, so I'm gonna hop off.
Alright, nice chatting with you.
I'd say have fun, but I don't think it's possible for anyone to have fun in that abomination. I don't know what you're doing, but you've probably got another hour or so left of just doing nothing.
I circled around the house. I don't know if you saw it, but I did. I'm gonna go down.
Oh my fucking god. Why are you playing that abomination?
It's a beautiful game. You can tell by the atmosphere and just the dialogue, the plants. That's about it. It is gone.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast. They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring. Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Hmm.
I first saw him sat by the side of the road. I was waiting for you to be cut out of the wreckage. The car looked like it had been dropped from a great height. The guts of the engine spilled over the tarmac, like water underground. traveling through my own body, following the line of infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. I swallow fistfuls of painkillers to stay lucid. In my delirium, I see the twin lights of the moon and the Ariel shining to me through the rocks. When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
does this cave look familiar? I think I must have gotten here before.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all. Hall by the roadside, by the exit for Damascus, all ticking and cooled, all feathers and remorse, all of these signals routed like traffic through the circuit diagrams of our guts, those badly written boats torn bottomless in the swells, washing us forever ashore.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. As I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together. only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection. Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
Just pause it for a moment. Be right there. Yep. Okay. Let me check. I got another message. What is this?
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus. Run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Alright, I think I, for the Chinese room, I think I have actually beat that game. Yep. The ending was very familiar to me. I don't know if there's more to it. But boy, was the ending very familiar. I hope there's something at the end of these credits, but if not, I'll enjoy the silence. Gonna head off to the store soon. And then sleep. Sleep is so good. Oh. Alright, let's see. Let's resume. I did not mean to do that. I thought it said English.